Welcome to our Bachata Footwork Basics. This is just an introduction to the basic step going sideways and forwards with a little bit also crossing behind and in front, and also basic turns. If you'd like more from our any Bachata Footwork, then please have a look at our weekly subscriptions for salsa, which includes some bachata within that, and you can learn a bit more in that. Okay, so getting down to the basic step, I'm going to turn round to face the other way because it's always easier to follow steps from behind, so you're not trying to do things in mirror image. Okay, so what we've got in our basic step, we'll be starting with our left foot. So if you've got your weight on your right foot, heel of the left foot is lifted up. We're going to be travelling with a sideways step, then we close your feet together, transferring the weight, and then another sideways step, and then closing the feet up but not transferring the weight, so the heel doesn't go down of that right foot. So that one is now free to be able to step the other way. So we step side, close, transfer the weight, side, close, but don't transfer the weight. So you could think of that as a tap, or just closing the feet together, but it's just make sure that you don't transfer the weight on that one. Okay, so basically we've got 3 steps that are transferring the weight, and then one that doesn't, that could be a tap. Okay, so let's try that again. So we get side left, transfer the weight, side left, tap, side right, transfer the weight, side right, and tap. Okay, let's just try that a little bit faster. So I'll count you in with a 5, 6, 7, 8. We're doing something on every beat. 5, 6, 7, 8. Side together, side, tap, side together, side, tap. Okay, so that's your basic step, which going sideways. Let's just practice that so that we do it more continuously, so we don't stop after just one basic. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6, 7, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6, 7, tap. Okay, just a little bit about how you do the steps. We're always placing, when you start a step, placing the ball of the foot down first and then rolling to the heel. I'll show you this way round so you can see that. Ball of the foot down, rolling to the heel. Okay, so that happens on all of the steps. If you tap, then you're only putting the ball of the foot lightly down and not doing the roll to the heel. Okay, because we're not transferring the weight. It's that roll to the heel which actually transfers the weight. As you do that, your hips will roll naturally as you go from placing the ball of the foot down and you transfer the weight to the other foot. As you roll down to the heel, that makes your hip swing to that side. So you don't need to force your hip movement. That just comes from the transfer of the weight from one foot to the other, and as you roll through, pushing down into the floor, rolling to the heel. Okay, so that gives you a natural sway of the hips as you step. Now when you get to the tap part, don't want to give a sort of pop of the hips, but there's just a little gathering at that point. 1, 2, 3. A little kind of sway of the hips, just to keep the motion going. So we don't want to completely freeze at that point. So it's just a little gentle wiggle, but you don't want to really pop the hip out too much. Okay, so it's just rolling and a little wiggle. 2, 3, little wiggle. 1, 2, 3, little wiggle. 1, 2, 3, little wiggle. Okay, so it's just a gentle wiggle there, just to sort of feel that the hips are constantly got something going on, without sort of trying to put your hip out too much. Okay, so that's your side basic. Let's try doing that now with a cross behind. So when we do that, let's start from the beginning again. So our right foot, the weight's on the right foot. What we're going to do when we do that is on the second step, instead of bringing your feet together, we're going to cross behind the first step. So take your first step and then do this as the second step as though you're turning your back onto the way that you're traveling. Okay, so that you're turning your back that way so that you can step with that right foot behind the foot you've done. And then when you take your third step, you straighten up again and then you close for the tap. Now you do the same going the other way, so that you'll step out normally, turn your back onto the way that you're going so that you can step behind, and then open out and straighten up and tap together. Oh, sorry, caught my, made a noise with the sole of my shoe there as it caught the other foot. Okay, so let's just try that again, a bit more in motion. 5, 6, 7, 8, side, behind, side, tap, side, behind, side, tap. Let's do that again. 5, 6, 7, 8, side, behind, side, tap, side, behind, side, tap again, side, behind, side, tap, side, behind, side, tap. Okay, so that's the side basic with the cross behind. Let's now do that with the cross in front. Now with this one, we need to slightly do the angling on the first step, so it's not just a straight step there. We're slightly going to angle. This time when we're crossing in front, we think of turning towards the direction that we're going. We're not going to go all the way around to go straight in that direction, but just sort of diagonally, so that you can then cross in front with your second step. Then you can straighten up as you go into the third step and tap. And then we're going to angle as though we're going forwards that way again, but diagonally. Side, cross in front, side and straighten up, tap. Okay, let's just do that in motion. 5, 6, 7, 8. Side in front, side, tap, side in front, side, tap, side in front, side, tap, side in front, side, tap. Okay, so the main difference between those is that when you're doing this, the side behind, you turn your back on the direction that you're travelling. Okay, and when you do the cross in front, you turn towards the direction you're travelling. Okay, and then also just about when you angle your feet, so that when you're doing it going in front, it's easier if you slightly angle the first step as well as the second step. Whereas with the cross behind, we can just step normal for the first step, just angle on the second step. Okay? So, hopefully that's clear. We're going to do all of this to music in a moment, but just before we do that, we've got a couple more things to learn. So, the next thing is doing a forwards basic. The timing is exactly the same as your side basic. we're going to be taking 3 steps and then closing and tapping on the 4th beat, and then another 3 steps and closing on that. But it's just the direction that's different. So when we're doing our forwards basic, we're just walking forwards for 3 steps. So we have 1, 2, 3 forward steps, and then we just close the feet together for the tap. 3 backward steps, 1, 2, 3, and close there. Okay, so let's just try that in motion. I'll count you in with a 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Forwards and tap, backwards, tap. Forwards, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, tap. 5, 6, 7, tap. Okay, and as we're doing that, we can still be rolling our hips in the same way. Every step we take, roll through the floor as you go from the ball of the foot to the heel, and that will make your hips wiggle. Okay, you don't need to force it. Yeah, this is not something you need to really push the hips out. It all comes from the rolling of the ball of the foot to the heel. Yeah. So if you're getting your step placement right, it will make your hips wiggle anyway. Okay, so that's we've covered side basic normal, side with a back cross, side with a front cross, and we've done our forwards basic. The final things we're going to learn is 2 turns. So this is back to doing your side basic. Okay, so if we're doing a normal side basic, we'd get side together, side, tap, side together, side, tap. If we just pause there, we're going to do a turn to our left. So this is going to happen as we travel left, so it's starting on the left foot. When we do this, a bit like the crossing in front step, we're going to start angling our foot on the first step. Okay, so you need to know that you're going to do your turn just before you start it, so that you can be already turning on that first step. Okay, so that's going in the direction you're turning towards the direction that you start traveling. Okay, so that happens on 1. Now you're going to turn on the next step, pivoting around, so you're traveling on the same line. Okay, but you're, rather than just the cross in front, keeping your foot angled diagonally, you're going to be turning it around to face the back at that point, and then you're on that step. You're not going to roll your foot to the heel, because you're going to pivot on that foot to land so that you're facing front again on the 3. Okay, so mainly you are stepping from the ball to the heel, but if you're pivoting around, you need to stay on the ball of the foot so that you can be pivoting. Okay, now this is something you need to make sure that you've got shoes that will pivot on the floor you're working with. So if you've got a smooth surface floor, that's ideal, but also you don't want to be working in trainers that have got a very good grip on the floor. Okay, that's great for playing sport where you need to have grip, but if you want to be dancing and pivoting on the floor, make sure you've got shoes that work for that. Okay, so let's just try that again. So we're slightly turning on that first step, but then the next step, the second step, is the pivot around and then land on the 3. And then you can just close. So in other words, you've completed a 360-degree turn on by the time you land on the 3rd step. Let's just try it once again. So ready to go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step, pivot, land, tap. And then just finish your basic. 5, 6, 7, tap. So that's how you do a left inside turn where you're traveling left and turning left. Okay, so for your right turn, you need to do your side basic to the left as normal. So we get 1, 2, 3, tap. Now you're going to be, as you do your travel to the right, you're going to be doing your turn. So this means that your first step to the right angles that way. You're going to be pivoting on the second step of that and landing on the third step, and then tap. So let's try that from the side basic left. So normal, 1, 2, 3, tap. Now you're starting the turn, 5, 6, 7, tap. Now another thing that can help with these turns is to use your upper body so that it's not all happening from the feet, okay? You are using the floor and using the drive of your feet to push you round, but if you use your upper body as well, that can really help. So just before you start the turn, so if you're going, 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure your shoulders are angled slightly left just before you start going that way, and then as you go into that turn, use your upper body to start propelling yourself round, okay, so that drives the turn round, okay. Also, if you look the way that you're travelling or the way you're turning, so if I'm turning right, I'm going to be looking right over my right shoulder, and that helps to make the turn happen. The same thing with going the other way. Look left, drive your shoulders and upper body to the left. Yeah, so we get round, tap. Okay, so using your the way you're looking and your upper body will help propel the turn so that you're not dragging that behind you. Okay, that's going to tend to make you more dizzy and also more off balance. So always drive into that from the look and the upper body, so that's already going. Okay, it really helps to get you round the turn in time. So the idea, like I said, is to land on the third step already having finished the turn, so you're already back to the front at that point. Let's just do that each turn, each way one more time just before we get to music. So we'll first of all do a whole basic, and then we're going to turn left on the next basic. So let's try that. Basic step, and then we turn this time left, round we go, land, tap, basic, finished. Then we're going to be doing a right turn, not this time, but we're going to do it now. Ready, prepare, go, round and land, tap. Okay, so remember that your right turns are always, for inside turns, are always travelling to the right, turning right. And if you're doing an inside turn for the left, you're turning left as you travel left. So it has to be on the correct part of the basic for that to happen. Okay, let's try doing that to music. We'll put all those elements in and I'll just call those things out. Okay. Okay, just feeling the sway of the music to begin with, because there's not much beat going on at the moment. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 5, 6, basic. Okay, remember to roll the foot 3 each step that you make. And that will create the hip wiggle. Okay, what we're going to do is do our crossing behind. Let's do it now. So twist to the back. And normal basic. And wait for the music. And go. Okay, we're going to do crossing in front. Wait a moment. Let's do it now. Here we go. Twist towards the direction you're traveling. And hold. Just normal basic. Okay, ready for forwards basic? 5, 6, 7, and okay, let's go back to a side basic. And waiting for the music. Okay, ready for doing a turn. Let's turn this time left. And again, let's turn left. Here we go. Remember to look the way that you're traveling. And hold. Okay, we're going to do a right turn this time. Here we go. Look right. Again, looking right. Because of the stop in the music, we've ended up the wrong way. So let's just stop here. Basic. And it's going to end. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Bachata footwork basics. Little bit of a whistle-stop tour through that, but hopefully you can play it as many times as you like to pick up all those different elements. And please do join us, as I said at the beginning, for more bachata that's included in our Salsa Weekly videos, and there's more information on the website. Enjoy!